Well, the tension is building inside the Atlas Arena in Łódź, Poland. It's the classification game, 5 versus 6. Which team is going to finish 5th? Which team is going to finish 6th? And the reason why this game is important with Croatia and Montenegro, the winner doesn't have to go through qualifying for the next Eurobasket Women, and also the winner will go to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. I'm Jed Taylor, joined by Mark Clark, and you know that a victory in this game is like winning a medal.
Oh, it is a medal. Let's be fair, it's as big as a medal now because you've got a chance to be an Olympian, and that's a huge thing in a player's career. Once every 4 years, you have that opportunity. And as we see Lithuania won the first game, finished in 7th. That was for pride. This is for something real. This is for something where this time next year they'll be playing to get to London. An Olympic Games is the pinnacle of the most athletes' career. That's what's on the line today.
And incredibly, we have a situation where we have a couple of teams that played in Katowice. Croatia began this tournament losing to France by 46 points. And yet, they still have a chance to finish 5th and all the implications that brings. While on the other hand, Montenegro won their first 6 games, and yet here they are with only the same thing to gain as a team against like Croatia that has really, really struggled. Montenegro undone in that one game against Turkey, and you do feel for them, but this is the cruelty sometimes of international basketball.
By the tournament structures there, you know what you're coming into. There's no surprise about you do great and then you have a 1 and out, you lose, you're gone.
Everybody knows the quarterfinal
is the huge
where it goes.
Oh, absolutely. But so much credit must be given to this Montenegro line for bouncing back yesterday. And they were challenged, but they bounced back and they came up with a win to give themselves this. It's not just a consolation, but it's to all intents and purposes, but an Olympic dream. A lot of experienced players will never have that chance again. This is their chance to be an Olympian. You know, and the way they lit up the first stage of this tournament, you almost want them to be able to light up that tournament. But Croatia won't want that, and Turkey showed them how to play against this. Whether Croatia can do it like Turkey, only time will tell.
Well, for Montenegro, you know, they don't go deep in their roster. They depend on a lot from Jelena Skerovic, their point guard, 30 years old. They've lost Ana Baletic, the daughter of the coach, to a knee injury. Jelena Dubjevic was in there for the running for really player of the tournament until that defeat. There's Miodrag Baletic, the coach. Iva Perovanovic is one of the top offensive players in this tournament. But for Croatia, you know what? As much as we say maybe, Montenegro, you hate to see them lose a game like this. You would also hate to see Croatia lose it. And the reason why is because they've shown what you can do if you continue to play hard and you believe in yourself. And nobody deserves a victory in this game more than number 4, Sandra Mandir, the captain, the 33-year-old who has carried this team on her back. They have fought through injuries. They lose their point guard before the Eurobasket, Jelic, and they also lose Anna Leilis to an injury against Latvia. And the job that Bralic has done, okay, they've had some heavy defeats and they've blown some leads, but here they are. So you never give up. We're going to stop for the national anthems now. We'll start with Montenegro, and then we'll go to Croatia. First, Montenegro. Grown to love the national anthem. And what I like about Montenegro's players, they admitted they didn't have the experience to win that last game. And they were big enough to say it. Now Croatia. Twice, Croatia had finished 8th in this tournament. That was 1995 and 1999, and they were swept in their last appearance, I believe, in Italy in 2007. So it's really the 4th appearance for Croatia. You know, the former, just like Montenegro, they used to contribute players to Yugoslavia. But to put all this into context for Montenegro, it is their first Eurobasket women. So talking about experience, and what an experience has been for these guys. This is a real pressure game.
Well, they've put threes. They've got to put 3 very good officials on this game because of what the implication of the game is, and that's what they've done. You know, from Turkey, Estonia, and Portugal just posing for their photograph, pre-game team picture for the 3 of them.
People may not realize this. That's incredible. That's a great story in itself. I mean, it just adds to the
600,000 people, I think. That's all there is in Montenegro.
No, I mean, it's basketball is the main sport. They produce. I mean, look, they've done better than Serbia. What does that tell you? They qualified, Serbia haven't.
I tell you what it does. It just, for me, that part of the world is a place where basketball lives, breathes, and Croatia's 4th appearance.
Just as we talked about, yeah.
You add that to all the appearances of Yugoslavia, all the great players. So both countries are relatively, new, especially Montenegro, but they have tradition and they have history, and they've got great players that they can relate to, and so therefore you're going to see an exhibition of basketball, whoever wins it. I always worry about teams who have so few players over these length of tournaments, but this is the last game. And this
there we are. Look.
Oh, there we are.
I'm in the white. I'm the handsome one.
Yeah, I'm
That's Mark.
Pretty overweight one.
He's the smart ones. Oh gosh.
Well, there were 3 smart people.
The real smart ones in the red shirt.
Yeah, but I was going to say he's done a marvelous job. I mean, we're going to get to see the starting lineups, and that Montenegrin. You don't need a scouting report to know they're the 5 that are going to start, because they're the 5 that have started every game almost.
Well, let me tell you something. Anna DeForge has been a terrific naturalized player. Dubjevic has been off the charts with her all-around play. Skerovic just one tough game against Turkey, and Perovanovic has taken her game to new heights. Bjelica has had moments where she's been big. She's a center, but she likes to drift outside, and you can't prevent her from, you have to prevent her from taking that open shot. And they've got a 17-year-old named Turchinovic that's going to come off the bench. But Dubjevic right across the board. And what that doesn't tell you is the intensity that she plays with. They should have like a couple of words. Most intense player for Montenegro. And what do you think about Croatia? Mazic, a terrific rebounder. Mazura, just 23 years old, a terrific point guard. Ivicic is a high-energy player that plays a lot of minutes. We know about Sandra Mandir, the captain, 33 years of age, and Sliskovic. She's kind of drifted in and out, but she had a good game last time out.
She was a great game last time. I think she's underrated because she doesn't take a lot of shots, because on this team, they shoot the ball that quickly, and they shoot a lot of threes. And we see Ivicic there in terms of her numbers. She takes a lot of shots.
Well, Ivicic is probably the answer to Dubjevic for Croatia. I mean, a lot of intensity, although I don't think we see as much intensity as Dubjevic.
It does come down 2 things for Croatia. If these teams play normally, Montenegro will win. They've just got 5 or 6 great basketball players that know how to play the game. But if Croatia play enough defense, and as they showed against Spain, get going and get some hot periods of the game from the 3-point line, there's a way they can win this game. And that'll be from 40-point loss to Olympic Games is a hell of a journey. Montenegro's journey is totally different. None less enthralling. The head-to-head, there you go. It was a big win. Doesn't mean anything now, does it? This is a new game.
And that's exactly what Beletic said after they made this game. He said, our players will forget the first game.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
And that's what they have to do.
And Beletic, don't forget, this is the team, Croatia, that knocked Spain out of the tournament. Spain being the team, okay, they were struggling, but they'd reached the podium every year since 2001.
Well, teams that have like nothing to lose and no fear are dangerous teams, and I think that's how Croatia played the game. So they're dangerous. I've just got this feel for Montenegro now. I felt for them against Turkey. They've got so many great players. It'd be good to see them in that tournament next year.
Well, I'll be equally happy.
Yeah,
either one.
Yeah.
Ivicic drives in, and your criticism of Montenegro against Turkey is they're giving away too many open layups, and right away Ivicic drives in.
They can't play hard for the whole game, can they? Because they're going to have too many fouls and they haven't got a deep enough bench, although their bench played well in the last game.
That confirms it again. The Olympic qualifying tournament spot up for grabs. Davjevic misses, and now into the hands of Missouri. And Missouri had a good quarterfinal, or excuse me, had a good game against Spain. And she is going to play the majority of the minutes. There's Mandir. And quickly, Anna DeForge, the 35-year-old, who's a veteran of EuroLeague women campaigns, played here in Poland, and quickly on the fast break.
Can't give up the easy things like that. It's what Turkey didn't do. They didn't give Montenegro the chance to get easy looks and save some energy.
She plays more minutes than any player in the Eurobasket women. There were people wondering if Ashaya Murphy would play for Montenegro as their nationalized player, and I think now you understand why that was probably never in doubt, because DeForge is cool, calm, and collected, just like the point guard, number 5, Skerovic.
I'd like to see Montenegro keep it very simple, like play their game, not force it too much. Skerovic showed what a great shooter she is. That sort of stuff, they can score open shots, so they don't have to get too overly complicated. They just have to read it, don't force it, the game will come to them.
Croatia will like a much faster tempo, and ball goes back over to Croatia. I know the one criticism their coach had after the 46-point blowout to France was, we need to move faster on offense. Mandir hands it off, and Ivicic. We could be in a situation here, Mark, if Croatia win this game, and especially if Mandir has another big one. Who knows? Maybe she'll be the MVP of the tournament. Evina Maltzi was the MVP after leading Greece to 5th place 2 years ago.
Well, and I like it when you get the genuine MVP, not someone who's just been in the 1st or 2nd place team.
Well, the air ball, and grabbed by Bielica. Oh, the behind-the-back pass from Skerovic. The dump to Peravanovic, and that's why they're so tough, is their commitment to pass the ball inside. The Turkey really shut that off, didn't they?
Well, and they let it come to them that time, because I don't think that this Croatian team will swarm the same way that Turkey did.
But at the same time, it's far too easy going down the lane for Ivicic a couple of times.
Well, for a team that we talked about shooting a lot of threes, Croatia has just taken it straight down the gut of that Montenegrin defense at every opportunity. So that's a real point of emphasis they've put in place, and straight away a timeout for Montenegro. They've just got to stop that happening.
Well, Baletic is never worried about calling the timeout, and he's taken one. Get the full range of emotions out of Eurobasket women, especially this one. It's been a long one. 3 weekends we've been here in Poland. And players are tired, coaches are tired, fans, journalists, everybody's tired. I mean, it's going to be, last night I think took the cake. That has to be one of the top 3 games, women's games I've ever seen. Turkey beating France.
Well,
I like both of those teams, don't get me wrong, but I did not expect France to lose to Turkey.
No, and I think that was part of the context of the game. It was an upset, but an upset that was such a tense one. It wasn't like Turkey on a wave. It was a game that could have gone either way, so as part of that, there was the upset element.
And then the director had to show the shot of the son of Isabelle Fiakowski, the French champion.
Well, we were almost crying for him because of the emotion he was showing.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, those Montenegro fans were crying the night when they lost to Turkey. Missouri drives in, 3 layups.
Straight down the middle.
So they don't want to give away any fouls, but at some time you do have to take a charge. I'll tell you, this Croatian coach does know how to prepare his team. The forward, she pops it. She wants to go to London. But this only gets you to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament.
Got an offensive foul call, I think.
Yep, offensive foul called on Mazic. But the reason why all of these teams will think, either of these teams would think they'd have a good chance to go to London is because all of the European teams at the last FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament qualified. There is a golfing class, I think most people would admit, between the European teams and the rest of
the depth. Because don't forget, the winning team out the other regions gets to go to London anyway as a qualifier, so you're getting into the depth of the tournament.
Can you say Anna DeForge has come ready to play today? She has the ability to score a lot of points, and she is off and running. Now, Missouri passes up the jumper. Croatia deciding they're going to go inside for everything right now.
It's still a good sign. Sooner or later, the Montenegrins will just collapse in, and those threes will start popping.
Now, Karcic is going to come in for Croatia, and I was told she was used as a decoy the other day against Latvia. I think that's pretty much laid that one to rest. Good defense from Croatia, sloppy ball handling, and Ivicic tries to get a foul call, but it goes out of bounds.
Well, Alicia is, she's one of those glue players, isn't she, for the lineup? And knocked up, she turned it over, but she didn't think, she got back, knocked it away.
Montenegro not executing right now. Now, Karcic, who's just come in, is not a naturalized player for Croatia. Dubjevic with the rebound. Karcic, her father is Croatian. Oh, the turnover. Sliskovic over to Missouri. So again, another mistake from Montenegro. Ivicic drives in, and Croatia, layup after layup, have knotted it at 8-all.
It's just great transition basketball off the turnover. They've got numbers down the floor before Montenegro, and they're not settling for jump shots. They're taking it right at them. They're either going to have to start playing some defense or just outscore them, and that's not a strategy you want to play at this stage of a tournament. Mandir picks up her first foul.
But look at who picks it up. It's Anna DeForge posting up against the captain. I mean, DeForge knows this is a big game, and she wants the ball in her hands, just like Mandir usually does for Croatia. Oh, 2 quick fouls on Sandra Mandir. Not good. She has been able to play with foul trouble.
And she is obviously smart enough to do it, but, you know, an offensive foul or something gives her 3, and we saw what it did to Lithuania when Lithuania got into foul trouble.
Karcic, who's just come in. Now, she played college basketball at Villanova. She's from New York. Her dad's Croatian. See, she has a big impact here. Skarevich goes the other way, and it's an unsportsmanlike foul. I think that's a good call, because it looked like Ivicic just didn't really make an attempt for the ball. She just grabbed Skarevich. Watch. Oh.
See, I'd absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. But players
have to be smarter.
And the players have got into this mode now of thinking, well, there's people behind me. I can do what we used to do, which is just stop the break. And the referees have got to make that. Was that a basketball action? No, it wasn't. Therefore, it's unsportsmanlike.
I wish we could get a shot at Bralic right now, the Croatian coach, because whenever a player makes a mental mistake like that, he always goes down and delivers a lecture to the other players. They take the beating for the mistake that was made on the court. Anna DeForge, her team up by 2.
It's a lot of whistles in the first 5 minutes. That's
And why is that? Is that, for example, this one, Croatia aware of the passing game on the interior from Montenegro? They're trying to cut it off.
Well, they're trying to cut it off. I mean, we haven't got a replay of it, but a 5-0 foul count. I know Montenegro aren't playing any defense whatsoever in terms of stopping penetration, but those Croatian players would have sat down, watched Spain play against Turkey play against Montenegro. Bumping, grabbing, looking to hustle, going after it. They're trying to do the same type of game and getting called for it now. I don't know if they're doing it legally or not. The referees are saying they're not.
Well, Bjelica made 1 of 2. They get it back, and Perovanovic missed, but the rebound to Dubjevic.
Hustle plays it's got for Croatia. They cannot get outworked for a second in this game.
Karcic has plenty of energy. She hasn't played that much, although she did play extremely well in a lot of minutes against Latvia, so she's earned the right to be on the court here right now. Sviskovic with the foul. We haven't seen Ivankovic, but we're going to see her coming in, the big center. And I think she may have put her right hand on. And also Siglar comes in, the point guard, to spell Missouri. So Sviskovic out. And what Ivankovic does is she presents a different problem for Montenegro, and that is she's big, and if she does catch the ball in the low block, the only person that's going to stop her is Ivankovic. She's only going to stop herself. Yeah.
And the other issue down the defensive end is if she plays smart, that's a hell of a space to try and get the ball around them through. It's when she does herself no favors when she starts trying to challenge quicker players. Just play as big as she is, and she could be a factor.
Well, her problem also is that when she's trying to get position on offense, she gets a lot of fouls for clearing out. So, not to mention she likes to drift out right there and take that three-pointer, and that's really not her best game. But Karcic, she hit some threes the other day, but she missed that one. She said she doesn't really speak Croatian, but being half Croatian, I'm sure it must be coming to her a little bit easier now. Learning some words, like shoot. Right. Bjelica, short. Siglar.
Siglar had a really nice game off the bench, didn't she, in the other? Oh, no, not again.
Yeah. She can hit it. And Brelic is not looking happy on the Croatian bench.
Every other Croatian on that team shoots a better percentage than she does from the perimeter, though. So she's not the primary option from beyond the three-point line.
Siglar, 3-on-1, and another layup for Croatia. Gets them back to within 2.
I was saying in that previous line that Siglar had a great game off the bench in the game that got them to this 5th and 6th playoff, because she was distributing the ball well. She had a number of assists in that game that really made some key three-pointers in that second half look easy.
Karcic reaches in, knocks it away. Another foul. You don't like that, do you? Because the ball's on the ground.
Have they called a foul or they just called a jump? I'm not sure. The ball was loose, so I can't really see how it's held.
No, it's called a jump. Maybe they called a foul on Dubjevic, actually.
And there's only 2 seconds on the shot clock.
And this is good because this means the defense doesn't lose the hard work. So it's not a jump ball. It is a jump ball, but it's the possession error. Now, quickly to Scarovic in Croatia. Dodge a bullet, but they don't do a good job on the box out. Montenegro played their best basketball at the beginning of this tournament. And I just wonder if it's fatigue also that's catching up with them. You see the numbers of Ivizic and the rest of the team early. So it's all Ivizic offensively so far. Timeout. Montenegro with a 4-point advantage.
Croatia just lost their way a little bit, haven't they? They've been outworked a couple of times, and I'm sure that they talked about that before the game, that if they have a hope of winning this game, they can never get outworked. And on the offensive boards, they gave up an offensive board against a real prayer of a shot, and then they turned the ball over. If they can't get to the hoop, you would just love to see what they would get if they put Ivankovic down low, just spaced around, threw it in there and saw what happened for a couple of times, especially if the Montenegrins are playing soft, because she then can just go up and finish, and that again give them more balance, and sooner or later they're going to pour in some threes.
And I think the onus is on Ivankovic. I think Brelic likes that play ball, and she has struggled getting position, and we've seen sometimes fouls called when you're trying to fight for position. She's a big girl, and also we see her picking up a lot of unnecessary fouls, setting screens. She's very late moving in sometimes, so
can't hide, can she? She's easy.
It is, but I think if you go back and look at this tournament, you can see where she's definitely slid into somebody at a snail's pace, and she just has to be smarter as well. She played at the Eurobasket back in 2007, so she does have a lot of experience. I mean, you're a coach. You'd like to have a player like that in your team. You see the potential, don't you?
Well, it gives you options, doesn't it? And coaches like to have different options, so they've got counters to what the other team does. And she should just be happy being that.
Jovanovic misses.
And she should just do that all game.
Siglar. Siglar steps inside. Good.
That was nice. Croatia explored it a little bit there. A little look on a penetration, and then they waited for space, and they shared it. And put that one down because it's passed it, which is not what she's known for in the games I've seen her play.
She has a scorer's mentality. So does that person right there, Dubjevic, although she does share it around a lot. Montenegro still on top by 2. Remember, Montenegro won an earlier game against Croatia by 21 points, but so far, Croatia looking like a team that has grown in confidence in this tournament.
Again, she's really being described as the X factor for the team as the youngster from Montenegro comes in to Cinovic, and at the moment she is providing that X factor. She's penetrating, she's passing, she's scoring. Exactly what the Croat team need.
Off the back of the rim, and just that little bit of extra hustle by Siglar prevented Skarjevic from getting the rebound late in the first quarter. And just as we expected, a close game. Turcinovic, the 17-year-old, guarding Ivankovic. And the steal comes from Montenegro. One thing I found interesting was discovering yesterday that Skarjevic only started playing basketball at the age of 11.
That's very late. where she goes up.
Absolutely. Perovanovic, she's been hot in this tournament. But Skarjevic, I mean, she looks like she's one of these players that she's born. Yep. She's in the crib with a cot, and the ball goes in there right with her. The reach, Turcinovic, and nice play, Siglar.
Well, everybody on this Croatian team, you know, they've obviously, it's a real point of emphasis of what they've been asked to do. Attack the basket. They don't play defense. Don't get worried about being blocked. You're going to get there. And they've done a great job.
Ivicic up ahead to Siglar. And now Montenegro. So a couple of mistakes by Croatia, but they're trying to get something easy. And they still trail by just 2 points. So I don't think Bralic will be too unhappy. His team likes to thrive in a little bit of chaos. And Skarjevic drives in. Outside to Forge. Gives it up, puts the runner, and misses. She'll hit that shot more times than not, but the miss leaves her team leading 16-14. And oh, are the stakes high in this game.
We're going to get to see the stats in a second, Jeff, but I just want to say that Croatia, for me now, have done a really good job establishing themselves in the game. They've come out with a game plan that they're following really well, and it's working, and they've changed the game. You obviously saw the first game, and they've come out with a plan to win the game, and they're doing it, and the numbers, you know, Croatia haven't made a three-pointer yet. They're only 2 points down. That's got to be a good sign for them. They've only taken 4.
Look what they're shooting.
Yeah, you can't knock that. You can knock 6 turnovers, but Montenegro have turned it over 5 times. The rebounding numbers are, you know, pretty similar. And they're in the game. And I was always worried about them trying to come in and just play and struggling to deal. But they've come out with their own way of playing, and they've asked Montenegro a question.
Well, Montenegro said yesterday it took them a quarter to kind of get into the game. And, you know, we'll see if the same thing happens today. The disappointment, a mixture of disappointment, fatigue, whatever you want to call it. Montenegro yesterday struggled early against Lithuania, and they finally began playing their style of basketball. It was still a close game until the very end against Lithuania.
Well, foul trouble really hurt Lithuania come down the end of the game. The third quarter, Montenegro were almost out for the count, but they came off the ropes and somehow sparked themselves in the fourth quarter.
Getting the big minutes. Puts up another three. Good shot. She had her feet set. Vucinovic, wonder how good she can become. She's 17. Do you see a huge upside on her?
Well, if you're that strong at that age,
is she going to get a lot stronger?
Yeah, you're not sure how. She made one of those really early physical developers, but what really impresses me that she's in there as senior women, and she's fearless and she's strong enough, and she's in big games in this knockout stage. She's come to play. She led the scorers in the loss to Turkey. So
she was not in awe of the situation. Ivicic with the foul. The foul's mounting for Croatia. They have committed 8 fouls to just 1 for Montenegro. Nobody has 3 fouls yet. Skerovic off the backboard, no good, and Mandir who's in, and again looks to run. And this is just a well-scouted opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And Skerovic was in the keyway. No one went to give any backcourt safety, and that's the umpteenth time that's happened already. So hats off to the preparation, and now the Croatian team are executing that.
Pervanovic, nope, and Sandra Mandir. Ivankovic thought about it, but realized she's learning. The pick and roll, and good call by the referee.
I'd tell you, we gave her a little bit of a hard time when she came in, when she took that early three, but she rebounded well. She spent most of the time trying to get into that position. She really rolled quite effectively then, went quick. And Djilovic was really late, and if she'd have really got up and finished, great. But she's doing a great job if she can make these free throws, because there's no answer to it if she can stay in the game for long enough and do simple things. And the other great thing is the way she played defense last time. Didn't go after too much, just played big, made Peranovic go over her. So that's a good sign for Croatia. In fact, the whole game at the moment is a good sign for Croatia.
Davjevic. She is not shooting the ball nearly as well as she has early in the tournament. And maybe it is fatigue, you never know. The turnover, though, gets it back. And Skerovic over to DeForge. And she goes up with ease.
What a great move, though. Called it in the motion. Watch this. It's that little hesitation. Yep. Super smooth.
The juke.
Oh, what a move.
Ivicic. Nope.
You've seen Skerovic play a lot in Katowice. She struggled a bit. I thought she got back in it yesterday. She's only taken 1 shot so far. Is that normal?
It is. She'll shoot when it's available. And she didn't really have a bad game in Katowice. The only bad game she's had was that quarterfinal. But she was certainly a lot better in Katowice.
That's a foul because her arms aren't straight.
Yeah, she's got to lower it.
But referees let her get away with it, so it's a bonus.
Well, the foul's continue to pile up for Croatia. The shot clock.
Mandia looked quite rightly disappointed on that one, but I thought if possession went like that, they'd let it go. That's quality minutes for Ivankovic as she steps out. That's great.
Yeah, that's the best she's played.
I think it's really smart to get her out as well, because that last one, she got away with a foul. Now, he's had her in there for minutes, and she hasn't picked up a foul, and she's had a lot of positives. And he's going to need a lot of her as the game develops.
Ziegler yet again. I think this is the one question that you have to ask about Montenegro is how can they make it so easy?
Well, they made it easy for Turkey as well, didn't they? They just had an awful day making layups. If you go back to that game, Croatia just making layups.
DeForge. Oh, where would they be without her today? 10 points for Anna DeForge. Good Montenegrin name. Maybe there will be some children called DeForge after this in Montenegro.
Could be. She's going to become a hero if she gets into the qualification for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, right, Anna. That's a jump ball. Would you say that's a jump ball?
Not in normal leagues with referees, no.
Ziegler. Good.
Well, whatever happened to her in the last game, she's carried it over. She's really picked it up from earlier in the tournament.
Well, the youngster she played at Florida International. College basketball. Got that experience. Skarjevic, short, and Karcic with a good strong rebound. And Karcic now getting big minutes for this Croatian team. It just goes to show that you do have to make the most of your minutes. And Karcic is playing a lot of minutes now because of how she played against Latvia. So Skarjevic out of the game, and Snezana Aleksic comes in. So Skarjevic nowhere near her level, because otherwise you wouldn't see Aleksic in there. Entry pass, and Sliskovic scores, and a chance for a three-point play.
Well, that's why I like Sliskovic. The pass was a great pass, tough to handle though. Look where she catches it. She waits until she's ready to go up. She got balanced. Timeout by Montenegro, and we've got that hands-on hip stance that he adopts when he's not happy, as he lets them all go past him coming into the timeout. They don't need to be shouted at because they've got a look on the way past.
Well, 5:55 to go in the first half of the fifth-place game between Montenegro and Croatia. We saw a thriller back in 2009 in this game when Greece trailed by double digits in the third quarter, and they came back and beat Italy. And the importance of the implications of that meant that Italy had to go through qualifying for the Eurobasket women this year, and they didn't make it. Had they held on and won that game against Greece, not only would they have gone to the FIBA World Championship for women in the Czech Republic, they would have qualified and played in this Eurobasket women. So this game is huge.
Those margins are so tight as well because they came very close to qualifying, lost it by a game. In fact, lost it on a points difference scenario in terms of qualification. So, this game a couple of years ago, a 1 or a 2 point differential over legs or head-to-head games, and we don't see Italy for two major championships.
And that's a country with a proud basketball tradition. They've lost their coach, Giampiero Tiki. Well, they announced he wouldn't be continuing, and additionally, George Dikalakis announced in the press conference after the game that was just played by Latvia that he's not going to continue. And Gunter Basko also retired.
On both counts, they're huge things for Latvia, because that coach has done a marvelous job taking that team forward.
But also understandable on both occasions. I mean, it's eventually time becomes a factor. Got to have some free time, catch your breath. Anna DeForge. Skarjevic, and gets it. Dubjevic keeps it alive, and the hard work from Dubjevic. And she's going to be warned.
She is emotional, but you love that about her. The edge is there. You heard lots of shouting when Skerevich got it. They knew they had to get a shot. They communicated well, but she just would not take no for an answer on that on the rebound. She's not the biggest or strongest either. She just does a great job at using her body.
Well, Vankovic comes back into the game. Tebjevic has been warned that if she does it again, she'll get the technical. But look at the combination of Ivicic and Siglar and the rest of the team. And that was an air ball from Krasic.
And Krasic probably needs a rest. She's been out there for a long time. That looked a very, very tired shot.
Tebjevic, and Ivicic reaches in. Good defense. Goes off from Tebjevic.
Well, it's hustle plays again, isn't it? You know, get your hands in, get back and force them to take a tough shot. And Turkey has shown Croatia how to play with this team.
The bump, and Siglar has taken her game to new heights in this most important international game of her career. The guard should not be able to score against the center like that.
Yeah, and it's hats off to Coach Bradic, though. If this is down to, it's going to be down to him. They're not going to play defense. Go and score. Now, no player's going to have a problem with that sort of request from their coach. And they haven't needed a second invitation, and they look confident now. They've made a few. They're going to keep doing it until Montenegro stop them. Yeah. They've got to make them do something different. Unfortunately, though, that's something different is shooting threes, which is what Croatia have been famed for in this tournament.
Number 7, Marta Czakic. Pierwsze 3 minuty osobiste. First person foul.
Bjelica open on the baseline. And Siglar with the rebound. Incredible developments. Ivicic buries the three, and right now this game is going more and more the way of Croatia. It's not about, you got to play good basketball at the right times of these tournaments, and right now they're playing their best basketball. They're playing smart, they're executing, and that extra day's preparation has probably helped them. And it goes, and Bjelica fouled by Vankovic. But that one extra day, don't forget, Montenegro played yesterday. Croatia, they came out ready to play against Latvia. They won that game, and they've had 48 hours for Vankovic. That would be one comment that I would make. That you'd like to see them both play on the same day so they have the same amount of time to get ready.
And we saw them during that the game that Montenegro played. We saw the Croatian team. They came here en masse to watch the game. You know, and they saw the Montenegrins yesterday win. They saw them lose to Turkey. So they've had two really good looks at Montenegro playing the way they're playing here.
Wait for the shot. Great. Let's go.
Well, Bjelica is a good shooter, but she's been too hard on a couple of those free throws. Bjelica inside, and this time too strong. And as a center, you have got to make that shot if you're Bjelica.
That's a tough call for interesting to see where this call goes, because it could go to any number of players. There's three on Mandir.
Sandra Mandir. So
that's it.
That is a very difficult call on her. She went straight up with her arms.
Tebjevic just flew in, rebounded really, really hard, and give her the credit for that. I didn't see Mandir foul her. It just happened to be contact. She got some blood, I think. They're just going to wrap it and say,
is there a...
Theoretically, she should come out to have that done, but there's no way she's going to leave. I don't think the referee wants to tell her to leave either.
Well, think about it. Emotion. Yeah, he's saying she has to come out.
Yeah, because someone came in.
So now he needs to find both a free throw shooter, but also somebody that's not going to hurt him defensively, although...
Has Bjelica just gone back in? Because she should go back in, because she'd already come out. In the same phase, she's already gone out. But it doesn't matter, you know, let's not worry about it too much. It's the sort of thing the Anirak coaches of this thing sort of look at.
They're not getting an advantage free throw shooter.
No,
she's just bricked a couple.
She
makes that one.
You'd have thought that there'd have been a better free throw shooter than Belisha there, but hats off to Milka Belisha, stepped up and made it.
She's done that a couple times. She's gotten the offensive rebound off the missed free throws. So Frelic will be slightly perturbed by failure to box out.
Dulovic goes to the table with a look on her face. This is like, this sucks, basically. Why'd I have to come out? She looks at everybody and blamed everybody with that look.
But they've still got the ball and 1 point more.
Yeah.
Now the Turkish official is discussing things with the Macedonian commissioner.
We're all right.
Macedonian commissioner. Skerovic misses, and Ivicic called for the foul, boxing out Dogjevic. So the tenacity, the relentless approach, the crashing the boards mentality of Dogjevic is really paying dividends.
But when things aren't going your way, that's the three on it. It's like Mandir and
the two best players now have.
That's a foul. You know, why? You know, you coach players not to do that, yet they all want to do it because they think they're going to gain an advantage. And good officials, and there's 3 officials out there, make the call. They see it. They want to take that holding out the game. This is where she deserves to be for the effort.
Well, Sandra Mandir is still on the court with 3 fouls.
I think he might trust Mandir, but I don't.
3 fouls. Yeah. This is a pivotal moment, a pivotal sequence. They're struggling from the line. 7 of 12, 58% for Montenegro. So they could have been hurt that trip down, but they did pick up the fouls. And Dogjevic trying to do everything she can right now for Montenegro.
He's signaling to one, you keep going. And why did you stop and make a pass?
Siglar and the reach and the foul by Krčinović. And they had the ball, they had it down to 6 seconds on the shot clock. And now Siglar makes it. I'm loving it. I mean, Croatia, we're at the Munich airport when we were flying in, so we got a chance to speak to them on the bus, and I didn't know who these girls, I didn't know that much about them, but Siglar was really not one of the prominent players. How often do you expect? You just don't know what's going to happen, do you? Somebody's going to step up as the tournament goes on.
Well, she's been around, though. I mean, you said she's been to the States, she's been in Russia, she's been in Hungary, so she's played in some really decent programs, but she's never done it like this at this level of tournament.
Skerovic for 3. That's the Jelena Skerovic that we saw in Katowice. Mandir, that's where she's tough. And missed it.
That was
deserved. Incredible as she played here in 1999, Mandir, in the European Championship was held in Poland. Great shot. Handed the forwards, timeout. Frelic, he's seen enough. He needs to stop the momentum.
And how often has the momentum been started by DeForge? I mean, she's another great move. 12 points out of the 30. Other people have sort of stepped up a bit. So it's her turn again. You know, 6 from 8.
Yeah, 6 of 8 from the floor.
She's played the whole time as well. She's been out there for 17 minutes, and no wonder. She must be in great shape. To keep herself in that good shape as a professional for this long at the level she's played, it's just a testimony to her as a professional. She's as good at one-on-one. She's probably as close to the best player. You're saying she could be the best one-on-one player here. She's got so many moves and lots of tools to break you down with.
Ivicic and Siglar doing the business for Croatia. And you can see Sandra Mandir kind of taking a deep breath and saying, okay, come on, I can do better. but she can't be unhappy. Her team's leading by 2.
Well, it was similar in the playoff game to get to this game. She didn't do it great, and there's the 14 again today. She had another. This is 2 big day games back to back for her.
In the first half.
Oh.
She could be on her way to a very big afternoon.
Nandia came through in the second half, though, really to see Croatia home last time. So I don't think she's too experienced to play to worry about not scoring at the moment.
Especially being at the most important time of her career.
As we build her up, she turns it over. But we've always, Croatia don't look a great team in the half court, do they? So that was one of the occasions they had to do something in the half court. And Montenegro got the momentum and broke them down.
Ivanovic puts it up. How did she score that one? Croatia have lost all the hard work. Karcic from long range, and she buries the 3.
Well, she took a hit when she landed too, and they're lucky not to give this as an and 1.
I'm glad she made that, because I've been building her up. And I know she can shoot it. And she
ended up flat on her back. She got hit by Branovic. I don't think the referee stayed looking at her, but...
long one, and Karcic with the rebound. Everybody back in New York and Philadelphia on their feet.
That's not an unusual stat. 17 points off the Croatia bench, none off the Montenegrin. But
what a drive from Ivicic with those 3 fouls. And it really is Bralic saying, I'm not gonna go conventional. I need him on the floor.
Is that on
Karcic, I think. Karcic. And how many times do you see players? So it's her 3rd personal foul. So even she's going to come out. And what's interesting is Magic, of all players, has been out for all this time. She's played just 3 minutes today. She had a rough start. She had a couple turnovers. So she's fresh, and if she can get into her normal game, who knows? I mean, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, getting her back on the court.
Well, Branovic's woes continue on the free throw line. She didn't look confident yesterday. And again, she's not one of those players that inspires you with confidence as she sights the basket.
She really didn't miss too much in Katowice. I have to say, she was strong.
I was surprised that, like yesterday, she's wandering around, let it go, wanders around after letting it go. When she made the second one there, I still think she's a good free throw shooter, but whatever's going on mentally there messed her up a little bit.
The missed free throws hurting. Turcinovic called it. Oh, and a technical foul has been called on the Croatian bench on Lokas. And now Bralic is going to talk to her. And I think that's a good call. That, she really caught her flush on the cheek. And now Croatia had complicated their situation.
Just have to see the original foul again. There's no excusing the player jumping up there.
There isn't. And I'm not saying it was at the same level of Abrasamova, but it was a connection.
Oh, yeah.
If you raise your elbows and you swing them.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what she did. It looked like that's what she did. The referee just took a long while to blow the whistle, though.
He did take it, and that's why I thought Turcinovic had kind of bought it, and I had to see the replay myself.
Yeah, but the unforgivable one is the technical. Especially, I know you're sitting there frustrated you can't play because you're injured, but this could really hurt them.
Ivanovic from long range. Turcinovic keeps the pressure on Sliskovic.
Not too much damage done, just the 2 for the free throw, but it's only a 2-point game now.
Siglar. Bounce pass to Sliskovic and fouled by Jovanovic, the 22-year-old. Croatia continued to get those opportunities in the lane. driving to the basket. Ivanovic is just 22 years old.
Well, the effect of the initial penetration, as they saw, as we saw before, Montenegro's answer maybe is to help out more. As soon as they felt the help, made the nice bounce pass right down the middle.
Made it. So 1 of 2 from the line. And Ivanovic smiles. Her team's up by 3. Ivanovic, 18.8 seconds. And without question, they're going to want to hold it to the last shot.
Well, to forge on some type of penetration here, then either to score or to create for someone else. That's what we're going to get.
Croatia might force them to shoot it earlier, and they do. And that gives them a chance now. And Montenegro coaching staff not happy because they took it way too fast. But I think Ivanovic had actually a little bit more time as well. So the Montenegrin execution, not what they have come to expect in this tournament. They're still only trailing by 3 points. And I will say with Bralic and Valedic, none of the coaches are happy. Hey, come on, guys. You still got a chance to go to the Olympics.
No coaches are ever that happy, though. I think it's part of the job. You're supposed to look unhappy all the time because you can always think of something to do better.
Why do they call pirates pirates? Why are they pirates? They just are. Okay, 10 of 16 from the line, Montenegro. So actually both teams equal now. The shooting percentage for Croatia is so good because they've had so many looks inside driving to the basket. But one key here is the turnovers. It's, a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and the number of fouls.
Sorry, I meant to say fouls.
Yeah, the number of fouls on Croatia could become crucial. And it was crucial for Lithuania. And that's what playing players with this much one-on-one talent does to you. And then you pick up the normal fouls, but on top of that, you've got to contain someone like at the Forge who's just going to make that extra move, who's going to draw the contact. So that's part of that reason. But look at that, 15 and 14. Oof.
Well, and don't forget the development. Yeah, I mean, the Siglar situation is really blowing everybody away. She's really come to play today. It's Montenegro trailing Croatia 38-35 at halftime.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, you see the shooting struggles of Montenegro here in the first half of the battle for 5th place against Croatia. Still all to play for. Croatia leading at 38-35 against Montenegro. The first game, 81-60 in favor of Montenegro. But that means nothing. Croatia are confident, and they're getting great performances from Ivicic as well as Siglar. However, foul trouble has found Bralic's team, and he's got 3 fouls on Sandra Mandir, his captain, Jelena Ivicic, who leads his team with 15 points in the first half, and 3 fouls on Lisa Karsic.
Well, you like Karsic, and she's had a real big impact because she's really helped the rotation.
She's got 5 rebounds.
Yeah, and she hit that big 3, and but she's also enabled Miranda Mazic to spend a lot of time. If she comes out playing as she can play, I like. If people were worried about Croatia's chances before the game, they now have a huge chance here. But they'll be very aware of the fact that Lithuania thought they had the chance, they led, and Montenegro can just pour points in a hurry. They've got to be relentless in what they've done so far, and that starts by being aggressive at the offensive end.
She could not have done much more offensively. So we're off, and Montenegro will start with possession.
Well, the youngsters in the game again. That's a tough move, probably possibly foul, but it's good to see the youngsters start.
Well, Ivicic tries to pick up where she left off and does. She chases down the missed shot, and that was laziness from Montenegro. And Mandir, desperate to get on track, and that's a good sign for the captain.
Straight down the heart of the defense again. Look at that.
And one of those facts that I love is the fact that she was at this European Championship in Poland in 1999, and here she is again. Talk about playing for your country.
Oh.
Skarjevic uses the glass, and Sliskovic did a good job there. I think she prevented, they've got a hand on the shot. It's a 5-point gain. Mandir with the 3 fouls. Foul on Turcinovic.
Oh. I love, great strong move, and then she gets all the poise, and then she missed the easy part. Watch this. There's the foul. She's in the act of shooting, definitely, and just missed the layup.
Was that one of those who me? Did I foul?
I think she might have been. Did I not hit every part of her body? That was. How could she be complaining about that?
That's a rarity. She shoots the ball well from the free throw line, Sandra Mandir. That's a thing of beauty, that one. Nice art. Popovic didn't play in the first, and Turcinovic is going to come out. Now, this is what we've seen time and time again. She'll come out, and Beletic will immediately instruct, as you can see as you walk past, where you've gone wrong. So Turcinovic, the 17-year-old, you forgive her for youthful mistakes. Geforge, Perivanovic, just doesn't have the stroke. She left it in Katowice, I'm afraid. Up ahead, and the ball goes out of bounds. And another player who's well rested is Mazura. And with Siglar having played so well in the first half, you have to wonder how long she'll be out of the game.
It's just a bad decision. Look, you can see in the picture there, 3 red defenders, and she tries to thread it through the eye of a needle. No need for that. That's not what they've done to get to this lead.
Anna DeForge. Oh, thought she pulled her foot up there, but she handed it off to Dovjevic.
You'd love to play Anna DeForge. If you move, you're going to get it. And if you're open, she's going to find you. This delay was superb.
Ivicic. And Ivicic drives in and is fouled by Popovic. She is just terrific. I mean, there's no doubt about it. She's taking the ball to the rack.
Until Montenegro come up with a different way of playing defensively, Croatia are going to keep doing the same thing. Popovic, though, huge last night. Big jumper to seal some wind. The wind coming off the bench. But it's just, no adjustment, it appears, in the half-time to stop that penetration, because first Mandir and then Izvic straight down the middle again. Did they play much zone? I don't suppose they needed to play any zone in Kelevice, or did they try and do anything defense? They didn't need to, I suppose.
They were just so efficient. It was all about tempo and how they controlled the tempo of games, and they just did not. I think the fatigue issue has come into play here, and it's cost them. Because as we know, they don't have that many players playing big minutes. And right now, they're just relying on block shots. Because really, Ivicic could have scored easily there. DeForge. That, and also, there were some teams that were off their games. In Spain, they weren't playing well.
And the intensity level defensively will pick up when you get to a knockout stage. But, you know, obviously it's a win, you go forward, and so therefore there will be more defense. But I've got that effort by Delajevic is just such an example for the rest of the team. Her and the Forge have brought their game. They're just waiting for someone else to get with them. Full foul on Mandir.
Well, that's big. But, you know, she hasn't really... You could almost say she's laid an egg today. She hasn't played well, but that's why she gets picked up by her teammates. She's done it every single game so far, so why shouldn't somebody else step up? Ball goes out of bounds, and instead of Siegler coming back in, it's the shooting guard, Kakic.
Well, Ivicic is living a little bit of a dangerous game on three herself. Didn't try and play defense, reached for the steal. They can't give it away by bad decisions. They've got to be relentless in their effort.
Well, that's Perovanovic forcing it.
It's great defense as well. It's cut it off, forced her away from the hoop.
I think the other thing that helped them, they played the host Poland in their opening game. And Majic short, and Kakic keeps it alive, but into the hands of Dubjevic. And Poland put up a lot of three-pointers, and they let them put them up, and they didn't make many. So that got their confidence going. They won that game. They beat Spain. Forge goes down and hits another one. So now it's back to a three-point game.
It's great one-on-one basketball by DeForge. 14, 16 personal for her. They would be nowhere.
The center.
Oh. From the moment she picks it up to the moment she releases it, it's such a short. She's so quick to release, and she's totally under control. Absolute quality.
Zura pulls up and misses into the hands of Dubjevic. Skirevich to DeForge. Well, she's hitting, why not? But she missed that one. Slutskevich gets her shot blocked by Popovich, the second block. And Missouri puts up a tough shot from long range, and Dubjevic with the rebound.
Another for Dubjevic. What? She's just trying to haul her team back in. That's the 8th rebound, I think, for Dubjevic. 9 rebounds already.
Dubjevic puts up a three. Good! Nothing but the bottom of the net for Jelena Dubjevic.
There's one other Montenegro has to get going, because Dubjevic and DeForge are carrying it. If one other gets going, Croatia are really going to get challenged now.
Ivicic pulls up the short one, and she's world class right now. She is playing some kind of basketball and playing with 3 fouls.
Well, this game has got a feel of what's resting on it. Neither team is going to give this one up.
Missouri almost forces the turnover, and Skerevich's bounce pass was good, but maybe not to the... Well, Perovanovic wasn't ready for it, or couldn't control it. So Siegler finally comes back into the game. So the jump ball possession arrow goes in favor of Croatia.
to see how Ivankovic does this time. She was so good in the first half in what she's supposed to do. She carries on like that. Her minutes here could be crucial.
Kakic from the corner. Skarevich with the rebound. So Ivankovic and Siglar in for Croatia. The Forge now goes up against the younger Kakic. Over to an open Popovic at the line. And Popovic, I think that they'll settle for that option, Croatia. To Popovic, you got to hit the open J. Ball goes out of bounds.
Great offense, though. They just tremendous effort defensively to deflect it. But Ivankovic set a great screen. They changed the passing angle, and they just couldn't convert. She was so wide open. It's a nice feel now. Croatia, you had that feel before. Pass it, shoot a three. They're exploring getting to the hoop as often as they can.
And this is the team that really put them on their way to a good first half. They're now in there. And gets blocked. Kakic. They got a lot of open, a lot of turnovers and points in transition in the first half. Oh, Ivankovic just sends that one back to where it came from.
You pay money to watch some of these Montenegrins. That was great spin.
That's a good no call because Ivankovic goes straight up.
Yeah, and it was way after anything was released, and now she's pulled a defensive rebound.
Did you see Ivicic keeping Dubjevic out of the paint that time? Great job boxing out. Siglar. So they spread it back to Ivankovic, and Ivankovic almost turns it over. She's now being almost too unselfish. Ivicic, Kakic for three. Good!
Wow, Montenegro. They closed it, they tied it, and they go back to you can't forget how good a three-point shooting team this team at Croatia are.
I think I may have actually blamed Lopez for the technical foul in the first half. I think it was actually on Kakic. So she's making amends with that type of shot.
Even Rach has a look of a man who believes now. I'm not sure how much they believed when they came in, but they believe now.
To Forge, that is a tough shot she's taking. And Ivicic is just not going to be denied tonight. Hustling, getting the loose balls, the rebounds, drawing the fouls. And did you see Anna Leylas get taken out? She's already injured with her arm in a sling. And now look at her.
She's smiling, though. She's smiling because they're 47-42 up. Picks herself up, does it, and they're doing a great job.
Karcic for three. Short on that one. She did hit one in the first half. And Dubjevic trying to do too much there. Karcic just reaches in and takes it away. I'm not surprised that Kaledic wants to take Dubjevic out, but I'm not sure he has the option. She is on fire in this game. 21 points. And chalk up an assist, number 5 for Siglar while you're at it. Popovic not looking like she's going to shoot it. Skarevich. And a scary shot from Skarevich. And now Siglar, her team leading by 8.
Oh, smart decision to pull it out. And they're doing the smart things now. On top of everything else, they're playing smart.
The Elites are going to come back in at the earliest opportunity. Karcic missed that one. Kakic kept it alive. And Popovic with the rebound. Popovic has blocked some shots. And she's giving him a big body down low. But I think by having her in there, they lose an option offensively. She doesn't look as comfortable on that end of the floor.
Well, made one big jump shot is what she made to sort of seal a victory, but she doesn't. She knows she's not a primary option, so it's almost the last resort for her to shoot it.
So last time down the floor, Skarevich passed it to her, and she said, who, me? Kakic picks up number 2.
Much better control defensively by Croatia this time. They're not sending Montenegro to the line. They've done a better job at Just moving their feet, staying clean, but still playing hard.
Popovic puts it up and in, so just as we were writing her off as a player that can do anything offensively, she tells us where to put it. Although it was an easy shot. Nice one from Ziegler. And now Popovic is hearing it from Anna DeForge. Tuchinovic is going to come back in and replace Popovic. Foul on Ivankovic.
So that's one of those fouls you were talking about, where she just ran over Franovic, and there was no need to, because they'd already got the dribble going to the baseline. It was not going to the basket, and she's still not in any major foul trouble.
It's her second foul.
But she didn't need it. She would have had 4 to. She could have contested more shots.
So Tuchinovic back in there, number 13. Scarovic goes behind her back, tries to free herself. They're going to have to rush one up. And great defensive play by Croatia.
Ooh, it was close. It was close. The foul was just up. I think they'd have called the foul, but the buzzer had already gone.
A break for Croatia, leading by 8. And Biletta's telling Scarovic she's got to get into the offense faster. You're going to have to shoot it if need be. So the final 20 seconds of the third quarter, and it's looking very good right now for Croatia. Ziegler, goal! Ziegler, look at her, celebrate! You still got 10 minutes to go, Ziegler. And DeForge almost turned it over, and a tough shot from her, and right now, Montenegro in trouble. They started this tournament like a house on fire, 6-0, but right now they trail a Croatia team that's growing in confidence. 10 minutes remaining. If Croatia win it, they finish 5th and also go to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament.
Let's not write them off, though. Where were they? Where were they? Where were they last night? Where were they before against Lithuania? They kept Lithuania to 6 points in the fourth quarter last night. That's the sort of job they're going to have to do if they're going to turn this around in the fourth quarter. These stats will give a really nice read if you're a Croatian fan. 63% on the 2-point, and they still haven't stopped that layup. Let's just get into the hoop whenever they want.
And they will put up a lot of threes, and they've hit 6. Good thing about the threes also is you tend to get some long rebounds. So it does seem as if everything is going according to plan right now for Croatia. And the question is, do Montenegro have time to turn this thing around?
Well, they have time. They definitely have time because they were in a similar position. Maybe not. They weren't 9 down. I think they were 6 down last night when they beat Lithuania. But they came up with a 28-29 point fourth quarter. And that's the sort of thing it's going to take here as well. It's going to take a lot of points, and it's going to take somehow they've got to stop this Croatian team scoring. I don't really see where that's going to come from, because at the moment they can't contain the penetration.
They haven't been able to contain the penetration from the very get-go.
Absolutely.
And that's one reason why Ziegler has taken off. And she's having the game of her life. Ziegler right now with 19 points.
Well, one of the things about you asked earlier on, you need quality point guards to play at this level, and every team has got a quality point guard in terms of running the game.
If Ziegler wasn't a quality point guard in Katowice, she has turned into one in Woods. Third foul on Marta Kakic.
And all of a sudden, Croatia appear to have depth in their lineup, which people weren't talking about, that they got people coming off the bench and playing. Now they've found them. They look a very different team.
Perivanovic, and she's had a quiet day, Perivanovic, but that takes her to 7 points. No, she's got 9 points now. Ziegler blocked by Popovic. So doing what she does best.
Well, there's a lot more body language is positive for Montenegro. That block has helped.
Urgency. They feel it. The sense of urgency, but they still got to get the stop. 12 seconds remaining.
And as Spain found out, if Croatia get going, they're a tough team to get stops against because they just knock down threes.
Siglar. Over to Kakic. Good poise from her, but now they're going to have to rush one up. Kakic tries to get herself free, and she does. And that is heartbreaking if you're Montenegro, because you have a good defensive stand, and they get bailed out by a great individual play. She had the open jumper, and I guess you have to be able to knock that one down.
Well, she stopped getting the ball low. Not another early one.
And this is possibly, look at the hustle from Davjevic, but she hustled too much. She was trying to get up the court for the layup. I was going to say that's the one fault I might give Croatia. No need for that quick three-pointer.
Absolutely not yet. They can get them late. Like, they can get them now. They've got plenty of people spotting up.
I mean, why not work a little bit of time off the clock, especially if they allow you to.
Let's just for a pause for a second. What's the work rate? She's just almost stolen. She's going after this. Great effort to come back, but she was the player who almost stole it the next time.
And look at Owen. Siglar missed the layup. One of the only times they haven't capitalized. And it's given Montenegro, it's right now you have to say it's keeping them alive because they're in trouble. Another foul. Is Ivankovic moving around or Siglar?
Thought the foul was before. They're doing it to Ivankovic. It's tough really. I thought the foul was already called, but she's got a hand on her. If she hadn't put a hand on her, I think they'll let the play develop.
She's got to learn how to play D like Shaq. DeForge, Kakic. Oh, how in the world did she make that pass? Scarovic for three. I mean, desperate straights here. They are taking some crazy shots. DeForge lets it go so she doesn't travel. Scarovic again. Nope. The battle for the board. They're doing everything they can to stay in the game.
Well, it's almost we've just got to keep hanging around until then we've just got to go after it in the fourth. And that's what they're doing now. This is the most energetic they've been at any stage. And it's exactly how it was last night. They're trying to give themselves a chance to win. They
are, but you also have to say from Croatia's standpoint, they are forcing them to take some really tough shots.
Oh, this is... Well, maybe not matching Turkey, France, but this is going to get... If Montenegro get right back in this is going to be another great one.
Oh, nice move, but dead legs. Well short. So good. And Katowice, Woods. Will it end in a nightmare for Montenegro? Kakic. Ivezic, good D from Davjevic.
Again, Davjevic just chases everything down. Where does she get that energy from? Now she wants it in the post.
And Scarovic and Ivezic playing like a spring chicken right now. She is just so fresh. Maybe that's not the appropriate description. Playing fresh. So a timeout, and it is now getting to that do-or-die point for Montenegro, who trail it by 13.
Čuvaj Marko Čakić, ona prodire, jeste. Ona u desno prodire i igra samo. Nemoj ste da pomaga. To je sve. I pazi, uđite
da to ide moćno do kraja na koš faul, jasno?
I didn't see a whole lot of ideas being uttered back there by Beledic.
Na defor blizu pomažu ti centri na šutu preko bloka i ima pritisak preko cijeloga, umara je, jasno?
And Brelic is reminding Croatia what they're doing right. Well, just 8 points, Jelena Skerevic. And really the turnovers are what are most disappointing from her. But it's, I don't know, I think you have to say some of this is down to just sheer exhaustion. I mean, this Montenegrin team beat Croatia by 21 points, and Sandra Mender also on the bench with 4 fouls.
Well, this minute and a half here, I'm sure that's all Skerevic is going to get on the bench, are going to be key. They took her out last night and just held their own and maybe closed by 2. If they can just hold their own and maybe get a little closer as a foul on penetration, then they've got a chance. We've got some injury under there. It looks painful.
Perovanovic, who's going to be playing professionally here in Poland for Polkowice, and this is not at all, number one, what anybody wants because of the health issue. But it could be serious.
Let's have a look.
Looks like. Oh no, that's not good. That is not good at all. And it was Karsic that fell on her, and I'm afraid that is going to be it for Perovanovic. Here it is again, as we look, and nothing intentional about that. But that is a very serious situation. I'm trying to think. That reminds me of another knee injury that we saw in this Eurobasket women, and
I hope that it looked like the ankle went more than anything else, but she's in a lot of pain.
It reminds me, in fact, of Beledic, the knee injury suffered by Beledic, her teammate, in that first game. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I knew I'd seen that, and almost at the exact same spot on the court.
You could be. It could be as bad as a break the way that leg went, and well, you just don't. You don't want to see anything like this for anybody, let alone a great professional athlete. And
there's another victim in the physicality stakes, Anna Leilas. But definitely her knee gave a little bit.
The lower leg just seemed to buckle as well. And
yeah,
I think that the other thing that tells you it's bad is that the Croatian players near it must have heard something, because they're concerned for her as well, because of just the way they got out the way. And you could, even on the way down, they'd heard some form of crack or something.
Well, Turcenovic's sister was there in the Montenegrin crowd. She also plays basketball. She's looking out there and realizes, from a sporting standpoint, you don't want to lose Perovanovic. The bigger issue here is her health and fitness. It just happens at the worst possible time for Montenegro basketball fans.
Well, they're lifting her up now. That's a good sign. I can't believe they would be even doing this if there was a really, really serious break or anything. They'd have stretched her off and things like that. So we're going to get another horrible look. Oh, I just hope that's an ankle. Because if it's an ankle, it may just be an ankle ligament thing. But
there it is again.
Yeah, I think the ankle went more than anything else. And
well, I think that's it for her, obviously, for this game.
Well, she is sitting in front of us, and
now the tough situation of so Popovic will play with DeForge, Skerevic, Alexic, and Davjevic, and we'll see if this gives them an emotional lift.
It hasn't gone to Milica.
It's obviously in a lot of pain right now, but also emotional about the timing with their Olympic chances on the line. Davidovic makes the first one. Krajinovic hasn't come in. I would have thought maybe she would have been the...
Or Belisha. One of those two have played more minutes, haven't they?
So Belisha going with his gut instinct, and almost Popovic knocked it out to the offensive board. And Siskovic with uncomfortable goal, and they almost had the 8-second violation. Almost.
This could have, again, the Croatians have to stay focused here, because those situations, as it's just done, you can lose focus, and so they've got to re-establish what they were doing in the game.
So the good thing is that Peravanovic wants to watch the action. She's like telling the guy to move away. Well, Alexic over to Skerovic. Now the Forge. And on the baseline, she misses. The reach, Ivicic checking to see who is leading this tournament in scoring coming into today.
Peravanovic was.
It was Peravanovic, so just goes to show you the magnitude from a sporting standpoint, and also what type of tournament she's had. Ivicic to Sliskovic, and she hits it.
Yeah, in the cold hard facts of professional sport, Croatia just have to be focused now and put Montenegro away. If they give them a sniff, they've still got the Forge and Belajevic on the floor, and Skerovic could come out of a big 5 minutes, and she almost deserves a decent 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the phrase is they need to put them to the sword, don't they? Back to 12 points.
I mean, the one real positive, I suppose, at the moment, Croatia are in the team. Have already fouled 4 times, so any more fouls and Montenegro will go to the line. So there is a way back for Montenegro.
But they've only shot 61%. Turnover.
Got to do it in stages, haven't you? This will get it to 10 or 9, and then you're in a game, and they've got people who can create for themselves. But is this Mandir's moment to come in and just ice a game and take her team home?
She's done it before. Alexic, she's off. And really is a case of a Montenegro that's completely and utterly different to what we saw in Katowice.
Clock management for Croatia now. They don't need a shot until under 10 unless it's wide open.
Kakic pulls up. That could be the nail. Right there. She's hit a couple of big shots here in the second half, Kakic. I really think most of the damage, you see the health services down there trying to help at the end of the bench of Montenegro with Peravanovic. I think the Croatia bench, that tells the story as well. 31-2.
Well, it's the depth we didn't know was there, and Cigar's most of that though, isn't she? So
Davidovic has it blocked by Kakic. And Kakic, she's certainly proved her worth, hasn't she?
Well, what a lift she gives him defensively. And she's athletic enough to compete with a Davidovic. Still only 14 though.
Davidovic has played pretty much the entire game. And the forward shot rims out. Montenegro giving everything to keep it alive, but their dreams are starting to disappear. It's their first ever Eurobasket women. And they will remember the good times, hopefully, if they can't come back.
It's not the smartest thing. I know how can we give Ivicic a hard time, but after one pass he throws up a 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know,
they need to be more, understand the situation.
Play the situation, absolutely.
Offensive foul called against Montenegro. Good call. Better on.
Hookta. Belisha's back in, but so is Mandir.
Bjelic has been a disappointment.
Yeah.
She's got the experience, but hasn't played the level, really, that they needed her today, and that's why she's been sitting on the bench. It wasn't the first name called when the injury occurred to Peravanovic. Mandir, fouled by Alexic.
Jimmy, number 9, Alexic. Second personal foul.
So they bring in the penetrating Mandir and draws the foul. The aim before the Eurobasket for Montenegro was to get past the initial group stage, and they accomplished that. So that tells you all you need to know about what they've done this Eurobasket women. Croatia. And a three-point play opportunity.
Wow, he said she was underrated and almost a forgotten player, and she always comes up with very, very solid numbers. And this is a very solid move.
So they win the first one by 21. They're now down by 17.
Wow, this is...
Just goes to show.
First and second round stages, you know, you don't win the tournament in the first week.
That's about almost a 40-point swing. Bielica puts it up and fouled from behind by Croatia.
And even if there is a hope now, you're going to have to ask them to make the free throws and then try and make something happen to defense with no petrol in the tank at all.
For Croatia, it's an example of how a team can be transformed in the period of 2 weeks. Just remarkable. If you can just do enough to stay alive. They have already avenged one setback by beating Latvia in the first classification round game. And now they've come out and done what did not seem possible back in Katowice. They have come back, and it looks like they're going to beat Montenegro. And I don't think many Croatian fans have made the trip, which is a bit disappointing.
It's just a small contingent alongside the Montenegrins on the far side. That's about it, one flag.
Kakic, short to Forge. Bounce pass, and Alexic makes it with his hand off the glass. They're going to try to give everything. The backup guard should be fresh. Alexic going up against Siglar. Mandir has that pass stolen. Nope, knocked away, but one on the shot clock. And that is the foul with literally a split second left. And what we don't want to see is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a stretcher come in here to take Peravanovic away, but that right there happens with less than a second left on the shot clock.
Well, the buzzer was literally just about to start to go off when she was fouled. And she's a very, very good free throw shooter, so you can probably put both of these in the book. Gets another double-digit performance out of her. I love the way players step into roles within teams and do whatever it takes. And she's not the player who runs down the floor, but she just accumulates, plays defense, and just is a very, very solid individual. And every team needs it.
To Forge. She tried to carry this team today. She did well in the first half, but I'm afraid the Montenegrins have come to the end of the road. They're down by 15 points. And now Croatia are playing smart basketball and running the clock down as low as possible. Mandir drives in.
Fitting, how fitting is when Mandir finishes this game for Croatia then. Not had the personal game, but she's still done everything she needs to do for her team.
De Forge drives in, he continues to score. She now has 18 points. But for Croatia, well, what can we say? It's worth repeating. Their best appearances at Eurobasket's women have been in 1995, 1999. They've reached the quarterfinals. They finished 8th in each of those. In their 4th appearance, they have finished 5th, and that is good enough to get to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament and also avoid having to go through qualifying for the next Eurobasket women. So congratulations to Coach Bralic, to everybody with Croatia, and also congratulations to Montenegro for having a great Eurobasket women. I think if you had told them they could finish 6th before the start of the tournament, they probably would have said yes. They've turned out to be a lot better than anyone expected, but they've just not been able to get it done at the business end of the tournament. Alexic drives in, and that is the final basket. No, it's still 0.8 seconds left, and I wonder if they should.
Theoretically, they should, but they shouldn't.
Yeah, they're not going to. They're just going to use good judgment here. That actually happened recently. Anyway, the final 0.8 seconds ticks off the clock, and the Croatian team finished 5th. And guess what? They've got a chance to go to the London Games. They are going to go home, hopefully, to a big-time celebration. Get on your feet and clap for that team. And in Podgorica, we hope that you welcome this team home as well, because Montenegro have really done everything. And our goes out to Eva Perovanovic. Just excruciating end to her what had been an amazing Eurobasket women. But for Croatia, it's all smiles. They have won when they had to win. It's a magnificent story. The Croatians, absolutely trounced by 46 points in their first game by France, have come back to finish 5th and qualify to reach the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament.
What a great job in preparation. What a great job in coming up with a game plan. And then Eva Cigar, who just demonstrated the way they were going to play. Those numbers are numbers that players dream of. 5 from 7 from the 2-point range, 2 from 2 from the 3-point range. Didn't miss a free throw. She's just had a performance of her life. And the performance of her life has been part of a game plan. Bralic got his team prepared, focused, and delivered.
And Bralic, who doesn't smile very much, I'm fairly certain there's going to be a smile on his face right now.